Now in that previous video on the CTS Engineering Active Recoil Buffer, I said you should go watch the hundreds of cycle simulation videos that are found on YouTube and various websites. I re-watched it after I got a lot of comments, and it does seem like I was saying that the gas only hits the gas key, and that is what pushes the bolt back and cycles it. However, that's not the case. So with that, let's get into a lot more detail on an AR15 bolt cycle. Alright, the trigger is pulled, the hammer falls and hits the firing pin. The firing pin strikes the primer of the round, igniting the powder within the case. The high pressured gas from the explosion inside the case pushes the round down through the barrel. When that gas hits the gas block, it travels up to the gas tube, travels down the gas tube to the bolt carrier gas key. There the gas travels back and down into the expansion chamber. When the gas hits the expansion chamber, it does what the name implies. It is allowed to expand by pushing the bolt in this area here, forcing the bolt carrier rearward. The rearward travel of the bolt carrier forces the cam pin of the bolt to move in the cam slot of the carrier, allowing the bolt to turn and unlock. Now the motion of the cam turning the bolt and thus pushing the bolt carrier rearward is where a lot of people assume that the gas from the direct impingement doesn't apply any more force on the top of the carrier at the gas key, while the bolt unlocks and drives the bolt carrier group to the rear. The gas expanding behind the bolt provides the inertia for the cam pin to rotate and unlock the bolt from the barrel extension. And as the bolt carrier group drives to the rear, there's still gas flowing to the gas tube, carrier key, and expansion chamber. So even though the inertia from the bolt drives the carrier group to the rear, there are still forces being applied to the gas key from the gas that continues to flow through. Okay, so seeing as how I don't have a high definition, high speed camera capable of recording a bolt cycle at the frames per second needed to really see what's going on, I searched the internet and I found a good clip. So after the trigger's pulled, you see the bolt carrier start to move rearward, and you'll see the gas venting from the expansion chamber in the bolt carrier. Now once you can see the bolt is completely unlocked, moving rearward and pulling the brass, you'll see another puff of gas coming out of those vent holes. That means that there's still gas flowing through the gas tube into the gas key. Now with gas still coming through that gas tube, isn't it reasonable to assume that the gas is applying forces to the top of the carrier on that gas key? Here it is again. You're going to see the initial burst of gas coming through those vent holes. Then after the bolt has already gone through its unlock cycle and is now in the ejection part of the cycle, you still see gases being vented through the bolt carrier group. I still stick to my previous statement made in that CTS Engineering Active Recoil Buffer video. It's reasonable to assume that you can still experience bolt carrier tilt in a direct impingement gun, although it being minimal compared to a gas piston gun. I'm not trying to be an authority. I'm just stating my opinion. I'm trying to build the most accurate semi-automatic AR-10 that I can. And then people ask, well, if you want accuracy, why don't you just build a bolt gun? And that's true. But seeing as how I would like to start competing, a bolt gun wouldn't be a good match for me. Only having my spare arm to work with, it would be difficult, but not impossible, to compete with a bolt gun. But with that, this video is done. Go ahead and click that like button if you liked the video. If you have a different opinion of mine on how a direct impingement bolt cycles in an AR-15, comment below. Don't forget to head over to the Facebook page and check that out. And I'll see you guys next time.